Hi guys, I'm Petrone. Welcome to Petrone on the Rocks, the talk show where I get to sit down with New York City-based comedians and storytellers, and we're just going to talk about life and while sipping Petrone tequila on the rocks.
On the rocks.
On actual physical rocks here.
On rocks.
Can we cheers to that? These are our first two guests, Brooke and Poppelen and Scott Rogowsky.
Heyo.
Keeping it legal.
Yeah.
Closed container.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ted, you got to get really method with this. You just got back from Mexico, too.
Just got back
It's
from
Cinco de Mayo.
It's Cinco de Mayo. That is the theme today.
Well, see, I gotta say, they're functional. They really do provide a lot of
I feel
shade.
like I have to be really... Your posture has to be good, too. Which
I take a siesta under it.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, this is the most comfortable I've ever been on a talk show.
We have a lazy boy rock over here for Scott. So Scott has a live talk show called Running Late with Scott Rogowsky.
Yes.
And you've been doing that a couple of years now, right?
3.5.
3.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's been a wild ride. What can I say? Started with a dream.
Yeah.
You know, could I host a talk show with my dad at a theater that doesn't pay you any money? And 3.5 years later, I'm hosting my show with my dad.
That's awesome.
At a different theater, which doesn't pay me very much money. So it's no, we've had some great guests along the way.
Yes, I saw your show last month. You had
Yeah.
Amy Sedaris, which was amazing.
She was a treat.
Did Amy say anything in the green room that's worth sharing?
Amy in the green room, they were talking about. It was Amy Sedaris, Richard Kind, and Brian Stack, and they all came from Chicago's Second City. They were all alumni.
So great.
Yeah.
And they were just reminiscing about those days. And Brian would look up to them. You know, Brian was the youngest one, and I remember seeing that sketch you did, and it was kind of cool just to be a fly on the wall there to see them all, because they have all these connections from 20, 30 years ago. Now, I mean, now Amy, you know, Stephen Colbert, of course, are a good friend. They started together. You know, Amy's done Letterman 34 times. Letterman's stepping down. Stephen's taken over. Brian Stack is writing for Letterman for Colbert.
Right.
So they're all. It's a big swirl of Second City. I just surround myself with funnier people than myself. That's the secret to success. So you're doing a good job off the bat here.
I think it also teaches you, you know, bring your friends along when you can. The minute you get a moment, you know, to get a leg up, like hire some friends or like work with the people you like there are going to be so many opportunities, hopefully, as your career goes along, to just keep working together.
Yeah.
And that's my dream. I think that's any comedian's dream.
Yeah.
Because you see it happen.
Yeah.
You know, you can spot the cliques where everyone hires each other and you can tell they make really great stuff because they
just having fun with their
share
friends.
a friend brain. Yeah, exactly.
Get into the sombrero manufacturing business.
Yes.
I can't handle alcohol. I know Brooke loves to drink.
A little bit.
Right? It's
not like
fair
my
to say you're a
identity.
problem drinker.
What?
It's fair to say you're a problem drinker.
Why would you say that? Oh my God.
I'm just a giant.
You're just a giant baby.
Baby.
He was like my skin.
Yeah, my
make
skin.
it
My skin
reddish.
problems. It might be all related to the fact that I'm a Jew,
Yes.
a whiny Jew.
Easily traced back to Jewiness.
So do you guys have any fun nicknames that I don't know about?
Rogo Cop, Rags.
Rags.
Was my dad. The Sklar brothers call me Rags,
That's
no
cute.
way.
which I like. My dad's nickname was Rags too.
Oh,
And Dave
really?
Righetti, the former Yankee pitcher, was Rags. Rags Righetti.
Yes.
And Brooke, you've got some good nicknames.
Yeah, BVP. BVP is the popular one.
Love it.
Van Pops.
Oh, Van Pops. I like that one.
Van Pops is good.
Van Popsicle.
Yeah. Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
I
Van
know.
Popsicle.
That one's like not as fun now that I live in Brooklyn.
I'm so jealous of the
The Dutchness?
the aristocraticness of your name. You know what the Van means? What is that?
It means like of the.
Of the Poppelens?
Our real Dutch name is Van de Poppel, which is even crazier.
Is it like the poplar tree or people?
I looked it up and I forget. It might probably be something humble like shoe cobbler. I don't know. Scott, no.
Okay.
And he just rolls into the river and we never see him again.
So you guys both, I think, moved here around the same time, like almost 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's
Which is official New Yorker, right? After 10 years.
Right, that's why I want to get out. By 10 years.
Okay.
I don't want this city to get its hooks in me.
Where did you first land? Where were you first living?
I landed in literally practically like the East River. I lived on 6th Street and Avenue D.
Okay.
Wow.
I did a lot of sad walking and wondering what I was doing with my life up and down that East River Trail. Really,
Did you have a soundtrack in your head that was going?
Well, probably my iPod, like the single stick one.
Oh, yeah,
that holds
the
like 30
shuffle
songs,
or
the
something?
Shuffle, whatever was on my shuffle.
The one you
which
get in
was,
the Happy Meal?
Yes. The one when like you don't even, when my parents were like, God, she's so broken sad. And my dad's like, do you want my shuffle? And then he gave me a shuffle. And it just had like Born to Run by Bruce Springsteen on
Love
it
it.
just over and over and over again.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I started branching off into stand-up exclusively, and then it was like, oh, New York.
Yeah.
Like Baron Vaughn was one of my first friends.
Baron.
Scott,
Oh, cool.
Scott Rogo here.
Rogo.
My first
Baron might
buddies.
have introduced us because Baron
That's
was like one of the very first dudes I met.
He's like the welcoming ambassador to to New
Baron
York.
Vaughn, if you're watching, and you are, because I know you
Thank
compulsively
you.
Google yourself.
We'll tag you.
Baron Vaughn, man, missed
Yeah.
that guy's in LA.
In '05, I remember like Premium Blend was just churning out new talent left and right like crazy on Comedy Central. And I just feel like I researched a lot of the people who I was like, I really like them. And I'd like to like figure out how they got their start, kind of be where they are. Because it didn't feel like they were miles ahead of me. They felt like I was 5 years from maybe getting what they had, or, you know, or whatever.
Yeah.
And everyone just, who I really, really liked, happened to be in New York City. I think I didn't know much about LA, and I was like, I want to go check out the Comedy Cellar. I want to go check out Caroline's. I want to catch, you know, look at all these like really famous places. And it was much cheaper to get to New York City from Chicago than it was to get to LA. So I kept getting $89 flights on Southwest, and it would like dump me off in Islip, New York. And then you'd have to get a $5 cab from Islip to Ronkonkoma, then get on the LIRR, and then drive, you know, ride in an hour. But this is what I did every 6 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
I'd fly out here for like $89 total.
I never had that because I grew up.
You grew up here.
I grew up here.
Yeah.
And I wish I did though, because you get started in a different city and you have a chance to develop yourself. And, do I want to even do this? You know, I guess I started in Baltimore in college, but yeah, that's, you know, people tell me, go to Boston, start in Boston, and then come back to New York. Start somewhere else because you come to New York. But I gotta say, just being around the people, like you said, being around the Baron Vaughns and the Brooke Van Popplins and the Adam Newmans and the Mark Normans and the people who are all starting out and then see 10 years later everyone else succeeding but me. It's really great.
You have to be a night person too, right? I mean,
yes, and I'm not a night person.
you got to stay up
I
late.
don't drink. I can't stay up late, and I got lost in the stuff. Everyone's going out and partying. And
I know.
I'll see you guys later.
Right.
Like, it's almost like to really, really, you either have to be a little bit obsessive, which I'm not exactly. I fell more into the category of like, listen, I'm just going to kind of turn into like a party animal in a way, where it's like, it almost makes it easier to kind of like, I don't know, I just like lost myself for a little bit. It makes it easier to just stay in the comedy scene and the comedy mindset and to be like, yeah, I don't need to take care of myself. I don't need to sleep. I don't need to ever be sober, but I'm going to go to 5 shows in one night. Some of them might be on, some I'm just going to stop in and see if anyone wants to, you know, I used to be out constantly, and then you just can't keep that up
your body
after
can't
a
take it
while.
anymore.
Yeah.
My tolerance was far less than, you know, most people. But you forge relationships in that crucible
Sure,
of insanity and like self-destruction.
Not required, but I would say you should. We hung out at like a dirty bar in the East Village, which was so much more fun.
Where everyone probably ended up, or went to before.
Rafifi was just, you know, dirty bar / performance space. So fun.
Those rooms. But I gotta say, even the last, recently, the last few months, Sam Morrill's a good friend of mine. He's another guy who started out with. He's kind of like ascendant, and he's at the Cellar all the time. So I'll go to him with the Cellar. I've never performed at the Cellar, but when he's there, I can sit at that table, the comics table, and all of a sudden, instantly, it's like, oh my God, everyone! This is what I wanted. You know, I wanted this camaraderie, and but you can't get there unless you do the work, or you know someone who did.
Yeah,
So I'm riding his coattails, but that kind of hanging out, that's where you forge those relationships, which I never really made.
It's easier for guys. I'm just going to go ahead and say that.
Probably,
you know, but I feel like lady comedians like to actually get to know each other outside of comedy. It's a big part of.
That's such a womanly thing to do versus a man.
Well, you've got your knitting clubs and Tupperware parties.
Knitting clubs and Tupperware parties, and we take our cooking classes together.
The painting by numbers classes.
Yeah, you got your thing. You got our basketball.
We watch each other's children. You know, we're all moms who are just lucky to be married.
Yes, exactly.
Were you tight with Schumer back in the day? Did you ever get to know her? No.
No.
Because I remember seeing her at the creek.
At the creek? When?
Like 2007, 2006.
Yeah, maybe for like a minute. I don't know.
Well, someone you do know, though, is Madonna, apparently.
Here he goes.
Ah.
Segue.
Wait, we have a chance to like finally meet in like a medium.
You can now like completely brag as much as you want about Madonna apparently being your babysitter, I think.
She babysat me for one short afternoon. Her stepmom, Joan, was my caregiver for, I don't know the time frame, 1 year, 2 years, something like that. We go there Monday through Friday, before and after school, summer times. And then Madonna came home one summer while she was getting, like, famous.
Right.
Like, she was about to have, I think it was either American Bandstand, and it was Holiday. I was convinced it was Solid Gold,
Borderline.
but Holiday's the one that came out. And then, I didn't know. I was just intimidated by this person who was, like, really pissed off to be watching us. She's, like, home from the
damn
East.
children.
Yeah, exactly. She's home from the East Village, like, God, stepmom, don't you respect me? You don't respect me. I don't want to watch these kids. And, like, I remember we just all, like, stood in the front yard, like, staring at her, like, who is this person? And she, like, glared back at us. And it was, like, a weird standoff for what felt like 2 full hours. She left a very specific imprint on me because she just looked like no one in the Rochester suburbs. And then later my parents were like, you know who that was? Like when she started to gain steam, like at the moment they're like, oh God, it's Joan's weird stepdaughter, you know?
Right.
She took care of the kid. Oh God, you know.
So that's what I was asking.
I feel like she was like very severe looking.
Very
back then.
severe, but I was like, it's cool. Like you never forget.
So you remembered that was Madonna. I mean, she made such an impact.
I remember,
She wasn't, to you, she wasn't Madonna.
It
She
was,
just a
right, it was
babysitter.
just
What name did she go by then?
Madonna.
Oh, she did.
Yeah.
She's always been Madonna. I remember looking at my babysitters, though, not even famous ones.
Right.
But just looking up at them.
Like they were so old too.
Oh
They were
my
so
God,
cool.
they were so
like
old.
automatically.
But they were like 3 years older.
Yeah.
They just seemed so much older. And this girl, I think her name was Kristen. She had the cut jeans. You know, this is the 90s grunge. Those cut jeans, which are coming back
much
now.
younger,
Brooke,
younger than me. Anyways, I know. What, the cut
you
jeans?
got those cut jeans?
What do you mean? Just cutting
You
the
got
legs
the
off?
slit in the knee?
Yes.
The knee slits?
Doing that forever.
That is, but I'm seeing it all around now.
Yes.
Who's doing
They're back.
this? How did that happen?
I used to pay like $60 for those at Urban Outfitters in high school.
I'm going to start a business, slitting the knees
Yeah.
of women's jeans.
Would you guys ever want to have your own brand of alcohol? What would you call it?
It's so popular now.
It's very
People
popular.
get rich,
I
they
mean,
start their own label.
yeah.
Kenny Chesney's got a rum.
Oh God.
Sammy Hagar is just killing it with his Cabo Wabo.
Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd was
vodka.
with the skull.
Okay, so
He makes more money on that than he does with Ghostbuster residuals.
get this. Of all the artists with like the ultimate frat boy following, who you think would have a beer, which frat boy artist do you think I'm talking about?
Like a singer?
Singer. Starts with a D. Like who would have a beer if he had his own label?
Drake?
No, Dave Matthews. Anyway.
Oh, Dave Matthews.
So Dave Matthews
Drake is not a pop artist.
does not have a beer. He has his own wine.
What?
Dreaming Tree. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm just like, oh God. Hanson has a wheat beer called Hop.
No.
No.
Yes, look it up.
Come on.
Oh
Look it
my
up.
God. I feel like they would never endorse drinking for some reason.
That's one of those examples where they came up with the name first and like, we got to start.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then Kid Rock has
Yeah.
his beer. It's just called like Kick-Ass Beer or something.
Right.
It's your badass or Kick-Ass. It's like, it's so Kid Rock.
So what would yours be?
Ah, jeez.
And what
Mine?
kind would it be?
If I got to have an alcohol, I'll tell you what it's going to be. It's going to be called Chardonnay. And it's going to be the world's first Chardonnay vodka hybrid.
Okay.
Because according to ancient Fire Island lore, my gay neighbor told me this years ago when we would sit on the stoop together. And I came up with this idea for Chardonnay. He's like, that's a drink in Fire Island. It's called Endless Summer.
No.
It's a very popular drink in Fire Island called the Endless Summer. And you mix it with something sparkling, throw some
I was
like
going to say like a spritzer.
chilled grapes in there, maybe some cassis, you know, creme de cassis.
Right.
Of some sort. But yeah, I want to make the world's first Chardonnay vodka.
I love it. What would the logo be? Like, would it be like your face? Like,
No,
this is my
I don't. I
vodka.
want people to buy it.
Yeah.
So no. And I'm minimalistic, so it
Right.
need to be a great font or just like a drawing of like grains and grapes. Fucking. Right?
Yes, completely. What about you, Rogowsky?
It'd probably be a non-alcoholic elderflower liqueur.
You're like, it'd be warm milk.
Yeah.
Warm milk from my stomach.
Elderflower
My
liqueur.
mother's breast
Elderly flower, more like, you sickly Jew.
I do like Saint Germain.
Yes,
And
I
if
do
anyone
too.
should have an own liquor, it should be Dan Saint Germain.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know.
That.
You know how
You're
it
right.
is with alcohol, and
Yeah.
also it would probably be, as he's said many times, Evan Williams
Right. That
whiskey.
yeah. Why not just Scott Rogowsky whiskey?
Yeah.
It's actually just a Gatorade.
I would order a drink called the Rogowsky.
The Rogowsky, the
Yeah.
big Rogowsky.
Yeah, the big Rogowsky.
Big Rogowsky. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
That would be a good cocktail.
Hey, guys,
is there
know
a
they-
whale dying?
I think there's a
behind us?
whale behind
Sea
us.
creature.
Chip?
I haven't seen Cloverfield yet. Should I see that?
Nah.
Isn't that like 3 years old?
Oh, it's better.
It's like 10. It's like 10 years old. Yeah.
Just some New York centric questions.
Yeah.
Have you ever been that person on the subway, like inhaling food or like?
Taking a shit.
Yeah.
I've been that person where I'm just like, can I sit down? Like, I don't have a good reason. I'm just like, I'm sick. And when
Yeah.
you just go, I'm sick, people are like, oh my God, just sit. They get really freaked out.
Yeah.
I am very conscious of my behavior on the subway because I hate those assholes
I know.
who take advantage.
Yeah, like take a shower on the subway.
But I was that guy. Speaking of, yeah.
Just like, finally down
Toothbrush works great on my
toenails.
feet.
Speaking of Rafifi, I was that guy who I think the final Rafifi show. I was early. I went to Russ and Daughters, got a whitefish salad.
Oh,
no.
On
those
a
smell
bagel.
very, just they're neutral, very
And
neutral.
I
smelling.
opened that sucker up in the back of Rafifi during the show, and it was,
Oh my God.
yeah, that was me.
That's the same with Chinese food on the train. You're like, I
Yeah.
didn't fart. Like, it's
Yeah. Yeah. It's cabbage.
cabbage and broccoli.
So I have a quick game of like taboo, basically, but New York centric.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So I've had a jagged
Yeah.
shard of rock up my behind the past 20 minutes. I just give him hints, or I
No,
cannot
you cannot
say-
use these words. But that's what you want him to
That's
say.
what. Oh.
Right. Okay, ready?
Wait, what's the word? What's the word? What's the word? God, I hate when my brain does this. I'm like stuck. Entrepreneur. Okay.
Okay, ready?
Sorry.
Go.
Entrepreneur.
Mark Cuban.
No.
They're all New York based.
Okay, New York based.
Damon Jones.
Older, long brown hair, weird smile, skinny entrepreneur on TV, on a franchise of television shows. Maybe a little nuts. Female, but a little harsh looking. Has products.
I would move
Shark
on.
Tank?
You're halfway through.
Okay. All right. Okay. Has a new show out called The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Ellie
She's
Kemper.
she's the producer
Tina
of it. Tina Fey. Okay. You didn't have it on the list. Okay. Someone you named just a minute ago.
Ellie Kemper.
No, weird entrepreneur.
Trump.
Yeah, that's oh God. Okay.
10 seconds.
All right. Okay. Wow. Okay. Let me go to this. I don't know these people. Okay. It's everything that I want to say
know.
about them. I'm
Right.
like,
You make
gay
this-
Bravo producer who's best friends
Andy
with Sarah.
Okay,
Shipp.
yes. You're done.
But those are
You're
the
right.
words that was
good.
To say.
Oh, well,
Who's the
whatever.
entrepreneur?
We'll count it. Bethany Frankel.
Bethany Frankel.
Oh, jeez. Okay,
All right, you
my
ready?
turn now?
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, go.
Voice of the generation, according to Judd Apatow and writers who believe in her, producers.
Writer's the actor or
Or
both?
she is a showrunner. She created a show. It's very popular. Billboards everywhere. Cafe Grumpy.
Lena Dunham.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. David Letterman loves him. He's a short guy, New York native. Hosted his show. Millionaire Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, as well as other things in the morning. Now Michael Strahan took his place.
I don't. Oh,
Michael
Regis
Strahan took
Philbin.
There
Okay.
you go. Okay, this guy. Oh boy. Somebody. Actor, one of the best actors ever. Got a big mole.
De Niro.
Talking to me. Okay,
Nice.
good.
Big Mole did it.
You didn't hang out with her back in the creek in the cave. She's
Amy
Peabody-
Schumer.
And this guy may have raped his daughter.
Cosby.
No, the other famous Jew filmmaker.
Not Cosby?
No,
You're done. You're done.
Woody Allen.
Oh, sorry. Just heard rape, and I was like, Cosby, ace in the hole. Not from here, though, so.
No. You win this Maraca. Straight from Mexico,
I'm gonna
Cabo San
split it with
Lucas.
Brooke by
literally-
smashing it over.
Just give me the beans.
It's okay, I also
Yeah.
have I have a
You keep the
runner-up
beans.
prize as well.
Oh, look at that.
So,
not gonna lie, I already have a few of these at home.
well, thanks so much.
Thank you, Carly. I think you're
Next time you drink Patron, think of me.
I will.
Every time.
I'm so honored to be on her inaugural.
Thanks for being my first
Patron
guest,
show.
guys. I guess we should cheers to
Maiden
that.
voyage.
This lady's
Yes.
got a future. We made it happen. Thanks for coming to Williamsburg, the Rocks in Williamsburg.
Yeah, you know.
Are you gonna pay for my chiropractor bill?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
We're stranded on rocks.
Yeah, we're stranded.